All right, welcome back to the Dental Marketing Mix from DentalScapes. My name is Dan Bryan. I'm the co-founder over here. And today I want to do something just a little bit different. Today I want to pull back the curtain on some of our processes here at DentalScapes, specifically the very first step we take with any potential client. This is before we talk about ads, before we talk about SEO, our bread and butter, before we talk about budgets or strategy. We run a marketing audit. And this is not the kind of audit that most agencies talk about, a quick glance at your website and maybe a couple keyword rankings. You probably get 10 emails a day about those, I'm sure. No, instead, I'm talking about a real structural assessment of your visibility, your infrastructure, and your growth opportunity. Because here's what I've learned after years in dental marketing. Most practices don't actually have a marketing problem. They have a visibility problem, or a systems problem, or an alignment problem. So today, I want to walk through the 5 mission-critical areas we assess first in every DentalScapes audit, the exact framework that we use to understand what's working, what's missing, and where the biggest opportunities are for your practice. First area we evaluate is local search visibility. This is the foundation of patient acquisition for most dental practices. When someone searches best dentist in Charlotte, or emergency dentist, or dental implants in Dallas, are you visible where it actually matters? We run search grid analysis across your search area to see how you show up in local search, not just at your office address, but across neighborhoods, suburbs, and high-demand areas where patients actually are searching. We do a comprehensive audit of your Google Business Profile, or GBP. We look at category alignment, services, photos, Q&A, posting cadence, messages, and we look closely at your Google reviews, not just your rating, but velocity, recency, and engagement patterns, because Google is increasingly rewarding active and, above all, trusted businesses. We also compare you directly to competitors in the market, because it doesn't matter if you think your profile is strong. What matters is whether you're winning visibility where patients are actually searching. This kind of analysis tells us immediately whether you're capturing local demand or losing it. The second area is AI visibility, and this is more important than ever. The fact is, the definition of organic search has changed dramatically, even in just the last year. Success in organic search today goes way beyond keyword rankings. We're analyzing how your practice appears in AI-driven environments, Google AI overviews, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude, voice search, and generative results layered into traditional search. In this AI analysis, we're looking at brand entity recognition, structured data signals, authority indicators across the web, topical depth, and mentions in citations. And whether your practice is showing up when patients ask real-world questions, like who's the best dentist near me? What's the best option for missing teeth? Or is Invisalign worth it? Because increasingly patients are forming opinions before they ever even click on a website. If your practice isn't visible in these AI ecosystems, rankings alone won't carry you. Now, the third area we evaluate is the paid search landscape. And this happens before we ever look at your actual campaigns. In this portion of the audit, we analyze the economics of your market. What are the average CPCs, or cost per click, for general dentistry, emergency, implants, Invisalign, cosmetic services? How competitive is the market? What are competitors likely paying? From there, we back into realistic expectations for cost per lead and cost per acquisition for both Google Ads, or traditional PPC, and local service ads, or LSAs. This allows us to ground strategy in actual math. Because if implants in your city require a $90 to $150 cost to be competitive, and your expectation is $25, that disconnect needs to be addressed before any strategy or budgeting even begin. Marketing should start with reality, not wishful thinking. The fourth area is a technical website audit. This is the infrastructure layer that supports everything else. So we run a complete site crawl. We evaluate indexation, URL structure, internal linking, crawl depth, duplicate content, broken pages, and many other factors. We assess core web vitals. Those are technical considerations like your page speed, mobile usability, layout stability, server responsiveness. We also review schema markup. Local business signals, services, providers, reviews, FAQs are those snippets in place on your website. Because schema helps determine how well Google, and now AI systems like ChatGPT and Gemini, understand, trust, and surface your site. Even strong content can underperform if the technical foundation isn't sound. And last but not least, the fifth area is a content audit. Not just do you have pages for X, Y, and Z, but how strong are those pages actually? We review key service areas: implants, Invisalign, emergency, preventive services, cosmetic treatments. We assess factors like intent alignment, localization, topical authority, patient education depth, and conversion clarity. And we apply EEAT or EAT principles: experience, expertise, authority, trustworthiness. These are the principles that Google is on record as prioritizing in determining your practice's position in search results. Are your providers visible and positioned as experts? Is your content demonstrating real clinical credibility? Is it differentiated or interchangeable with every other dental website in your market? We're also evaluating whether your content supports both traditional search and AI discovery, because authoritative, structured, locally relevant content feeds both ecosystems. When you put these 5 areas together: local visibility, AI visibility, paid search economics, technical infrastructure, and content authority, you get a real picture of your marketing readiness. Not vanity metrics, not keyword snapshots, not surface level reporting. You see whether your practice is structurally positioned to grow. And what we often find is that the biggest opportunities aren't just run more ads. They're improving local relevance, strengthening AI presence, aligning expectations with real market economics, fixing technical barriers, and elevating content authority. Those are the areas where the fastest, most sustainable growth begins. Because marketing, at the end of the day, isn't a collection of tactics, but rather a system. And when that system is aligned, everything performs better. Your ads improve, organic visibility expands, AI discovery increases, conversion rates rise, and growth and your practice revenue becomes predictable. That's why this is the very first step that we take with any potential client at DentalScapes. We start with clarity. So if you're listening and you want to understand how your practice stacks up across these 5 areas, where you're visible, where you're invisible, and where your biggest growth opportunities are, I'd be happy to run the same type of marketing audit I just talked about. You can request one directly for free at dentalscapes.com/start. We'll evaluate your local search visibility, your AI presence, your paid search economics, your technical website foundation, and your overall content authority, and give you a clear, honest roadmap for what to do next. Again, that's dentalscapes.com/start. Thanks for being here, and I will see you on the next episode.